If the power went out right now, you'd have less time than it takes to watch a movie before someone tries your door. The FBI's 2024 Blackout analysis found that the first forced entry happens at the 57-minute mark in high-density neighborhoods, and in rural America it's even worse, 32 minutes. And here's the part nobody tells you. 82% of those break-ins are committed by people who already know you. Your neighbor, the guy across the street, the teenager who bikes past your driveway every day. During the 2023 U.S. grid disturbances, police departments reported a 61% spike in opportunistic theft within the first 3 hours, and that was with the government still functioning. Cut the grid for real? Cut communications? Cut 911? You're looking at a country where 1 in 5 homes becomes a target before midnight. In the next few minutes, I'm giving you the 8 fastest ways Americans get looted on night 1. Mistakes so common that most people make them without even thinking. If you're doing even one of these, you're already marked. Let's get into it. 8. Trusting that nice neighborhood means safe neighborhood. Your zip code doesn't mean squat when the grid goes down. You might live in a clean cul-de-sac with well-manicured lawns, HOA newsletters, and 4th of July parades. But the second the power cuts out, all that suburban charm becomes a paper-thin illusion. Because here's what Americans forget. It's not the bad neighborhoods that loot first, it's the good ones. Why? Because they have more to lose, and more importantly, they've never been hungry before. In a 2023 report from the Department of Homeland Security on regional disaster response, neighborhoods with median incomes over $90K actually experienced 28% more home invasions during blackouts than low-income areas. Why? Because high-trust communities get caught flat-footed. The alarms go off, the lights go out, and everyone assumes the police will show up. Spoiler alert, they won't. In San Diego's 2011 blackout, response times for home break-ins shot past 94 minutes, if they even came at all. Criminals know this. They know the rich panic differently. They fumble with apps that won't load. They wait for news that never comes. And worst of all, they keep acting like this is temporary. But it's not just criminals. Your neighbor, yeah, the one with the boat and the golf cart, he might start eyeing your pantry when his fridge hits 48 hours without power. People act polite in the light. But when that light dies, instinct shows up with a crowbar. Want to stay safe? Step 1. Stop assuming your street is exempt. Assume your block is next. Step 2. Don't be the prepared house in a sea of panic. You don't want to be the outlier. And step 3. Understand this. Community trust is a luxury of stable systems. The moment the grid fails, the suburbs become hunting grounds. America's quietest neighborhoods are sitting ducks because they've never been stress tested. And when the stress hits, the facade crumbles fast. Your golden retriever won't stop desperate hands. Your white picket fence becomes a landmark. And your friendly neighbor? He might be the one following your kid home from the water pump next week. Nice neighborhoods don't save you. They set you up. 7. Leaving trash that tells a story. Let me be real with you for a second. Your garbage is a surveillance file, and during a blackout, it's not trash, it's intel. You might think you're being low-key, keeping your head down, lights off, no fires, no noise. But if you're dragging out a trash bag filled with vacuum-sealed packaging, peeled-off labels from canned beef stew, a protein bar wrapper, or even a crumpled electrolyte packet, you just broadcasted to anyone watching that you're not starving. And guess what that makes you? A target. In fact, the FBI's Emergency Preparedness Division flagged trash management as one of the top 10 overlooked vulnerabilities during civil emergencies. It's so common, looters actually case garbage routes, following city collection patterns, then focusing on bags that look clean and modern. In Baltimore's 2022 brownout event, 6 homes were looted solely based on what was spotted inside half-open trash bags. Not food itself, evidence of food, labels, packaging, expired meds, even empty propane canisters. Every item is a clue: what you're eating, how recently you stocked up, whether you're rationing or living normal. And trust me, desperation turns people into detectives. They'll go through your trash like bloodhounds. You want to survive? Step 1. Shred everything. Burn if you have to. but safely and never at night. Step 2. Use layered disposal. Hide food waste inside dirty laundry bags, pet litter, or soaked paper towels. Step 3. Stop taking trash out on a schedule. If people know you dump at 8 a.m., they'll watch. Wait until conditions are loud. Wind, rain, yelling, and do it then. And here's the real move. Start mixing your trash with decoy trash. Make it look like you're eating the same garbage everyone else is. Eggshells, old bread, rotten produce. You want to seem just as miserable. Because if your trash smells like rot, you smell like safety. If it smells like freshness, you smell like supplies. In a blackout, the most dangerous light source isn't a flashlight. It's a granola wrapper sticking out of a torn garbage bag. That's what gets your window kicked in. Not your stash, not your gear. Just a little trash that tells the truth. 6. Using rechargeable devices in public. You ever been in line at a gas station during an outage and seen someone pull out a fully charged phone? Maybe tap a power bank? Hear that little beep from a charged Bluetooth speaker? That sound, that glow, that buzz? It's not just a convenience, it's a siren. Because in a blackout, energy isn't tech, it's wealth. And if people see you still using devices while their phones died days ago, congratulations, you just declared yourself the richest man in town. In the 2024 Midwest Derecho blackout, emergency centers reported that public altercations surged around power access points. Why? Because seeing someone with power when you don't triggers rage. Pure, primal rage. That hum of a charger becomes a beacon. And if you're seen plugging into a solar bank, using a charged tablet, or swapping batteries like it's no big deal, you're marked. It happened in Spokane. A woman was followed home after charging her Kindle at a public library during a blackout. She was robbed by morning. Why? Because someone saw her power and assumed she had more. And here's the kicker. Even the sound of a charging tone can give you away. At night, when it's quiet enough to hear your own heartbeat, a power-up beep echoes like a gunshot. So what do? First, stop using power in public. Period. If it's not life or death, don't show it. Second, strip your gear. No glowing cases, no shiny cables. Black everything out with tape, rubber skins, or even paint. You want dull, dead, and forgettable. Third, mask your habits. If you must charge, do it under cover, inside a thick bag, in a closet, under a blackout tarp. And here's the trick most people miss. Turn your ringer off, always. That emergency alert you didn't expect? It can blast out at full volume, and now everyone knows you're connected. In a grid-down America, electricity is proof of preparedness, and preparedness is a death sentence when others are watching. Don't glow, don't beep, don't buzz. If your power bank works, treat it like a winning lottery ticket, and don't scratch it off in public. 5. Flushing toilets, draining tubs, or letting water sound like it's flowing. You want to know one of the most overlooked betrayals in a blackout? The sound of plumbing. That's right. Just water moving through pipes. Because in a country as water wasteful as America, people forget what running water means. But in a full blackout, when the grid dies and municipal pumps shut down, running water means power. It means resources. And in desperate times, it sounds like music to a thief's ears. Here's the kicker. Most municipal water systems in the U.S. lose pressure within 24 to 36 hours of grid failure. And once that pressure's gone, every flush, every faucet drip becomes rare. Audible proof that you had the foresight to fill your bathtub, top off a cistern, or prep gravity tanks. In the 2021 Texas ice storm, neighbors were reporting each other to local Facebook groups just for the sound of a second flush. Why? Because if someone's still using a toilet while yours is backed up and dry, they're hoarding water, and water is life. Worse yet, in California's 2023 rolling blackouts, several homes were specifically targeted after being heard draining bathtubs, a signal to any observant looter that family had prepped and stored water when others didn't. Don't underestimate how quiet the world gets in a grid down. No lawnmowers, no traffic, no HVAC systems humming, which means a toilet flush becomes a locator ping. And now your secret stash has a GPS tracker made of sound. What do? Step 1. Only flush with backup gray water, and never at night. Mask the sound with ambient noise, crumpling plastic, kids' tantrums, a short burst of fake yelling. Anything to kill the acoustics. Step 2. Seal your drainage noise. Pour slowly. Use cloth barriers. Use sponges. Step 3. Kill all outdoor hose drips or irrigation bleed. That little leak that used to be an afterthought? It's now a trail of breadcrumbs to your water supply. And here's the brutal truth. If someone hears water in your house when theirs is gone, they won't ask how. They'll ask how much and how fast they can take it. In a blackout, water isn't just wet, it's a siren, and that flush is an invitation to disaster. 4. Letting your pets sound off like it's a normal day. They forget their dog is a damn loudmouth. You might have your blackout curtains sealed, your radios off, your lights dimmed to tactical red, but then Fido starts barking like the UPS guy's still making rounds. And guess what? Every single person on your street now knows your house is still alive, because dogs don't bark for no reason. In a grid-down America, they bark at movement, scent, sound. They bark when they're well-fed, well-watered, and feel protected. You know what a barking dog says to someone with empty cupboards and no power? It says, someone in there still has dog food, still has meat, still has control. It happened in Florida after Hurricane Ian. FEMA reports noted an uptick in targeted burglaries against homes with barking dogs. Not because the dogs were dangerous, but because they were noisy and healthy. They weren't whimpering from thirst. They weren't thin. They weren't silent. They were still being cared for, and that sent a message. In blackout silence, that bark travels 3 blocks, easily. And cats? Just as bad. A cat sunning itself in the window? That's a luxury signal. That says, our heater still works. We're warm. We're safe. People notice, especially when their own pets are crying, hiding, or missing. So how do you fix it? First, retrain your animals now. You think you'll have time once the power goes out? You won't. Crate train for silence. Use command-based behavior reinforcement. No bark means no danger. Second, kill visual stimuli. Drape lower windows. Cover the front door. Block scent paths near windowsills. Third, ration your pet's food visibly. No shiny bowls. No visible bags. Nothing that signals abundance. Use dented cans. Smear some dirt. Make it look like your animals are just barely hanging on. And lastly, have a suppression plan. If barking starts, your dog needs a retreat space. A crate in a closet with white noise, away from doors. And if your pet can't be silenced? That's harsh, but listen. Relocation may save your life. That bark, that meow, that little collar jingle. It doesn't just tell people you have animals. It tells them you have resources. In a blackout, your pet's mouth is your biggest liability, and they don't even know they're getting you killed. 3. Acting like you're still the parent on the block. You know the type. Maybe it's you. The reliable one. The organizer. The guy with the flashlight checking on neighbors. The mom making sure everyone knows the boil water notice is in effect. The person who's always held the community together during little storms, snow days, or outages. And under normal conditions? That's honorable. That's leadership. But in a blackout, in a real, prolonged grid-down collapse, that role gets you targeted first. Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. The second the power dies, your social capital becomes a liability. In 2023, after Hurricane Idalia, emergency coordinators in Florida noticed a dark pattern. Houses where the helpers lived were often the first hit when looting began. Why? Because everyone assumed they had more information, more resources, more safety. The person who stays calm, who still has it together, becomes the lightning rod for desperation. In the 2022 Texas brownout events, 64% of home invasions in one district happened to houses where the occupant had previously led a neighborhood watch. Not criminals, not strangers, their own neighbors, people they used to help. And when things got bad enough, those same people said, if anyone has food, it's them. You think being known as the Rock will save you? It paints a target on your door. Step 1. Erase your leadership profile the second the grid dies. Stop talking. Stop organizing. Don't be the guy with the updates. Be confused, be tired, be uninformed. You need to disappear socially. Step 2, change your tone with your neighbors. Don't sound prepared. Sound just like them. Nervous, uninformed, maybe even scared. Step 3, if someone asks for help, say, "I'm barely holding on myself." That phrase shuts down expectations. You are not FEMA. You are not the town dad. You're just another broke American trying to survive. The second you become the emotional anchor for others, you become responsible for their survival. And when they decide you're not giving enough, they come with force. In a blackout, the leader gets eaten first. 2. Showing consistency. When everything else is falling apart, this one's subtle, dangerous, and so instinctive that most Americans walk into it without realizing it. When chaos hits, what do? We cling to routine. We cook at the same time, we brush our teeth, we make our bed, we clean, we walk the dog, we try to pretend it's just a temporary outage, just a little hiccup. But here's what that looks like from the outside. It looks like control. And in the middle of a blackout, control is a rare commodity. It screams preparedness. It screams stability. And in a world unraveling, predictability is a breadcrumb trail for looters. Let's talk data. During the 2021 mass power loss in Oregon from wildfires, homes that kept consistent patterns, opening blinds at the same hour, lighting candles at the same time, feeding pets regularly, were more than twice as likely to be targeted for theft, according to post-incident reports. Looters watched, mapped, timed, and struck when the routine told them no one would be at the door. Same with the 2017 Puerto Rico blackout. People who stuck to normal routines were robbed during dinner because they always cooked at 6. They were predictable. And in a darkened world, predictability is more dangerous than generosity. Step 1, break your schedule. Eat at odd times. Clean randomly. Shower at night one day, not at all the next. Use different rooms. Vary lighting patterns. Step 2, act disrupted. Let people see disorder. A cluttered porch, laundry in weird places. Show visual signs of instability. And step 3, watch your body language. People who aren't hungry move differently. Their shoulders are relaxed. Their posture is upright. They don't limp. Fix that. You want to walk like you're broken. When everything is falling apart, the one thing that makes you stand out is not falling apart. So stop. Stop acting normal. Stop looking composed. In a blackout, survival means becoming part of the collapse, because normalcy is a flare in the dark, and it tells everyone, you've got what they need. 1. Showing calm. When everyone else is losing their minds. Here it is. The final, most dangerous, most misunderstood mistake you can make. You stay calm. You don't panic. You breathe slowly. You keep your cool. You think that makes you smart, controlled, a survivor. But in a blackout, in real civil collapse, calm doesn't look wise. It looks wealthy. It looks ready. It looks like you've got a plan. And worse, like you're hiding something. Let's get psychological. During the 2020 riots following rolling blackouts in California, neighborhoods that stayed eerily quiet, where people didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't storm the streets, were flagged by mobs as suspicious. They were seen as watching, not suffering. And that silence, that stillness, it provoked fear and anger. In Venezuela, after the 2019 national grid collapse, studies by sociologists showed that mobs would deliberately target homes where the occupants didn't visibly panic. Because calm meant planning. Planning meant supplies. Supplies meant hoarding. And hoarding, in a world gone feral, is a death sentence. You think being collected is strength? Wrong. It's a bullseye. When people are screaming in the street and you're sipping chamomile tea, you don't look strong. You look different. And in tribal collapse, psychology different means not one of us. Want to live? Step 1, blend in emotionally. You need to fake panic. You need to pace the sidewalk once in a while. Shout out something useless. Throw your arms up. Cuss at the sky. Step 2, never look too clean. Don't shave. Don't wear matching clothes. Put on some soot. Mess your hair. Look wrecked. And step 3, Control your kids and your spouse. They might feel calm inside your four walls, but at the window, near the porch, they better look scared. You don't survive the first 24 hours by being serene. You survive it by being forgettable. You're not a lighthouse. You're not a fortress. You're not the guy with the plan. You're just another shaken American. And when the panic spreads like fire, anyone who's not burning is the first to get torched. There it is. All 8. And the scariest part? You didn't even realize you were doing most of them. Because they're not just mistakes, they're habits. Normal American habits that used to make life convenient, friendly, predictable. But in a blackout, they get weaponized against you. Light, sound, routine, leadership, calm. Those aren't signs of strength anymore. They're triggers, signals, and every one of them makes someone hungrier, angrier, or more desperate to take what you have. The first night is the most dangerous, not because the system's broken, but because everyone is still pretending it hasn't. That's when people lie to themselves, that it'll come back, that they'll be fine, that nobody would do that here. But once the panic kicks in, once the water stops, the phones die, and the cops don't show, your front door becomes a target, and the only question is, did you make yourself invisible or irresistible? You don't survive the first night by being ready. You survive by being forgettable. If you're serious about surviving what's coming next, share this with someone who's not ready, because most people won't realize they've made a mistake until someone's already inside their house.